lecture.
Okay.
Today we'll actually go through the papers one by one.
Okay.
Let us begin. Are you able to see?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I'm getting little bit of noise from the background, bro.
Sit. One second.
Do one thing, bro. Whenever you want to speak,
Yeah. I will raise my
you
hand.
open that, and most of the time you please like
Mute.
see. This is the 2013 paper I'm actually talking about, and this is the actual paper of UPSC. Now, in today's class, as we have seen already the syllabus of UPSC paper 4, that is the ethics, integrity and aptitude paper. Now we are going to actually see the paper and see how much we have to prepare according to the syllabus, according to the linkages of the paper 4 syllabus to other GS papers, and then come to the question paper directly. And here, the most important factor lies in this thing, that these papers are the mindset of examiner. How the paper setter is setting the question, how the examiner is actually marking and making the model answers for themselves, so that what they are looking, they must get that. And after that, how much embellishment or how much decoration you will do to the answers also, how much content, quality content you will deliver, that actually gels to the three elements. That is, one element is your syllabus, and interrelations and intra-relations between the syllabus and the itself. I have seen and I have told you, we have seen that these paper 4 syllabus is related internally to itself only. And what is that? What was there in our first and second lecture? Okay. Now, in the third lecture also, we have seen so many things. And in fourth lecture today for ethics, I will go through questions one by one. We'll see each and every question today from 2013 to 2021. And we will see the repetition. We will see the syllabus element. We'll see what kind of resources are there. So only three pillars are there. First pillar is your syllabus and interrelations between the syllabus, GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4, and your optional one also. Then you have to see the interrelation of your syllabus with the question papers, previous year question paper basically. And I'm saying that no need of any test series from the market to excel in this paper. Because those people who are actually excelling in this examination from home, they don't have any idea that what is going on in these places like Karol Bagh and these all those places where there is like daydreams are being sold, but they are like bundle. They are cheap courses. They don't actually enhance people's understanding. Very few people and very few teachers are there in the market who are creating the quality stuff. Otherwise, they are just repackaging and reselling the same thing again and again, years after years. And they are actually hiding the main things which are given by UPSC already. We will demystify in this session. And very carefully, we'll see that the third pillar, the resources, are actually attached and should be and must be attached to the syllabus and these items. And we have in the resources, very thin resources we are taking. but our mindsets are actually in such a way where we follow the commandments, particularly commandments I give to the people, that what will be the resources according to your answers, not according to your books, not according to your syllabus, but according to your answers content. Your commandment should be there, and the resources should be gelled not directly from the book to the question, but questions and syllabus to the book. So it is a kind of reverse engineering we are doing. So here we'll see and we'll demystify these three pillars: syllabus, question paper, and resources. And simultaneously, we'll see that what resources are needed and how we are doing the things. So one by one, we'll see that here 14 questions are here, 250 marks paper. This is 3 hours you get to write. There are 2 sections. Already we have seen that. And we don't have to write too much here. And they are telling that answer questions in not more than word limit specified for each in the parenthesis. If you actually write more, if you do write in the, the remaining spaces after they have put the line, after the question, and these lines are rectangular lines. If you cross those lines, if you write, you will be getting negative marking also in the mains also. So some people actually fail because of negative marking. They do not care and they write better. Then also they do not follow the rules. So you have to understand the rules of the game. The rules of the game is answer questions is in not more than word as specified. So word is here 250 word. Word is here 150 word, right? But the answers question today is much less than earlier. Earlier in 2013, questions were much more. Questions were of different kind. Now they are only asking, a specific kind of question in a specific way. We'll see that along the years when we are going onwards. But you have to write here what is your work. My work is not to just give you the workshop that how the questions are relating to syllabus and how the resources are being worked, but we will sanitize the major aspect, the major building blocks of syllabus also, and what are the topics. So you only have to write the topics in your notepad. Clear, Lingesh?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, Prerna, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll see this, that how the major topics are there. So in the notebook, just take out the notebook and you start writing the topics. And topics here, you will write like this, 2013 to 2021. And here you will, at the outset only, you will write GS paper 4, GSP-4, UPSC, okay? So this is the thing you have to actually write. So these topics you will be writing like this. The first topic we will be seeing, what do you understand by values and ethics? So here, see, these are nothing. You only have to know values and ethics. And we have seen that in the syllabus, very first topic, we are seeing that they are talking about values and ethics. So this is ABC, just like 10th class, 6th class, child kind of attitude they are showing to the question, just seeing the syllabus and writing it in your question. So these are not hard question. Value plus ethics. So this is the first topic, or you can say ethics plus value, because ethics is written first. Ethics and human interface, first topic in the syllabus, right? In what way is it important to be ethical along with being professionally competent? So this is the syllabus element where we see that public and private interface of ethics, public and private relationships, you will see in the syllabus. All persons should actually take along with them the syllabus aspect. Please do open the syllabus and start looking at them, just like you see the math formula again and again, okay? So here in this topic only, the first part, value and ethics, and in ethics, you will write like this, public ethics, private ethics, and you write here versus professional competency. You are seeing now, clearly you are seeing this, how I am writing. Clear? Just tell me in one question, you're clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, bro. Yes.
Yeah, are you getting me? See, now in this question only, There is no rocket science. Okay, are you getting that? There is no rocket science. It is clear that exactly syllabus is repeated here. So if you contentify, if you make the notes very beautifully according to your own character, in your own words, with your own examples, with your own researches, whether this question is very hard to write. What do you understand by values and ethics? What do you understand by ethics? What do you understand by values? You must have some, values example, or what are the values, right? Honesty is one value. Selflessness is another value. Taking care of others is another value. Patriotism is one value. So these are values. So now you define the value, define the ethics, you write those values, and you write the repercussion in real life that why values are important. The value of compassion is important because world is so poor. The world must uplift it, and it is against the human dignity. So value is needed. So what do you understand by values? So values are needed because human needs flourishing. Human needs beautiful life. Human needs to enjoy this universe because somebody has sent him into this universe to enjoy this, to actually dominate this in a very beautiful way. That's why we are needing the values. So you have to write it very beautifully in your own words, in your own structure. Then ethics, what is ethics? Do you know that ethics is the study of human behavior and conduct that actually emanates from the habits of long time. And what are the ethical component? So how ethical component is very necessary for values. So values and ethics. So you will actually in one line, you will join also. And then you will write again examples. What is ethics? So you will actually write that we need ethics in public services. We need ethics in private life because so and so has actually done it and reaped the benefit for the society. Just like Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther Jr. King. You can write about civil rights movement in America. Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. What he talked about? He talked about the belief that I have a belief that America will change. I have a belief that I can dream. I have a dream that is the white and black will be coming together and dominating the universe rather than somebody dominating someone. That is the ethics, right? In what way is it important to be ethical along with being professionally competent? Why is it necessary that you must be ethical and at the same time professionally competent? So you can start with one quote that training the mind without training the heart is creating problems for the society. Example are aloft in our human history. Hitler dominated because his mind was very professional. He was professionally competent to rule, to dictate, but he was not ethical because he was exterminating. His ideology was unethical. So that's the professional commitment towards, somebody over somebody. So that professional competence in human life or civil services is not the end of the world. You can talk about one thing like Jharkhand case. I'm just talking nominal examples, run of the mill example, but you have to come with real examples and much more new examples. These are old examples I'm giving you. I can give you new example also, but I don't want to waste the examples. Professionally competent. So somebody will be making a policy, but not taking along the human aspect, the sensibility. Like if somebody will be coming one policy that is related to education, but it is not taking care of poor sections of society, then what will happen? So this is the way you write. It is not that education policy, you will take example of 2020 education policy. In the ethics, you will write education policy, if it is not meant for poor, it will not serve the welfare state dynamics. What is given in what preamble and DPSP or FR 21A, then we are doomed because poor must be served in this country. That's why India can become the #1 in the globe. So that is the way you will write, so that you show your sensibility. It is all about writing how you know it and how much you have like matured enough in your thought. So professional competence relates with what? Competency. Are you competent enough to deliver professionally? You must have to have that. Okay. So we talk about here what? We talked about DOPT guidelines in 20 commandments, and there lies the answer also. If you know that, What is there? Ethos, ethics, efficiency, and effectiveness. Equity.
Equity.
So when you talk about equity, you talk about welfare state with justice and fairness. When you talk about ethics, you talk about the conduct, the habits of civil servants. When you talk about ethicality along with professional commitment, what exactly are you talking about? You are talking about the ethos of the service in entirety. You are not either professionally commitment or either ethical. So you will make the scissor like this. You will make the scissor and tell that just like in a scissor, if you cut it, you must be having two swords together. If one sword is not okay, if you are not ethical, it will be not professionally competent or professionally committed. That is, ethos will be missing. Ethos is what? A spirit of the service. So if the spirit of the service that is ethical in nature, so what is the spirit of the service? Sarve bhavantu sukhina means all should be good. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, all the world is the family, and the charity begins at home. We should serve our society. The public administration is a socially embedded process. So you will have to write like this. If you write these kind of value statement, it shows your character. It shows your thinking. It shows that you are coming from your heart, not your mind. And they want to check that only. They don't want to prove with the word. They want to prove it with the emotion, with the commitment to the service in a very rational way. And your example should be for both the things. What is that example? You will be showing with this example. In what way is it important? So they want to give, they are asking you the demo aspect. What is the demo aspect? Give them the demonstration. In what way it is important to be ethical, to be being professionally competent. So you will give the examples now. How the professional commitment with missing ethicality will create a burden to the society. So Aadhaar services, Jharkhand girl, you should Google it. Jharkhand girl got dead. Why? She could not get the ration because her ration card was not connected to Aadhaar. She goes to the fair price shop, what it is called, FRP, fair price shop, FPS. So fair price shop, she gone and her Aadhaar was not seeded, what is called seeded with Aadhaar, ration card. And she was denied, and her family along with the girl got dead because of the hunger. So that kind of, this is the example of Jharkhand. This kind of thing happens with Divyangjan. What happens with Divyangjan? They are not getting the due fare because they cannot seek and go to the offices, and they cannot roam around the offices just like people going from pillar to post in the system of a scammed system. So there you are professionally, you may be professionally committed, but competent, but you are not ethical. You are not delivering the services at the doorstep because people are not getting the fair opportunity to get the services. And you are not a proactive, but a apathetic. You are an apathetic service giver. So you will give this kind of demo that if I am competent and I'm sitting at my office, I'm not going to the field surveys. How I will know that in my area, how much Divyangjans are getting suffered, how much poor people are getting suffered, how much old people are getting suffered, how much child are getting suffered, how much women are getting suffered, what type of policies I am implementing, whether they are happy or not happy. You will give the example of professional competent and ethicality with the Ashoka example, right? What the Ashoka did, Ashoka told in his Shilalik, in his, the commandments to the pillars, he wrote, and it is written in one of the commandments, the Ashoka told, whenever I am in the deepest of pleasure also, with my queen also, with my very near and dear ones, when I am at the, the peak of happiness also, you must deliver the governance aspect very immediately to me. The governance aspect should not be denied at any cost. That is the ethicality along with professionally competent, because Ashoka was a very good ruler. He was a very good warrior. So that kind of ethicality we need. So this is the example from history, what we needed. Then we need example of Mughal empires. In Mughal empire, why other other kings are at one place and Akbar is at one place. So Akbar told that Jharokha Darshan, you will quote that, Jharokha Darshan. In Jharokha Darshan, even women can meet me in that regressive kind of society, Parda Nashin, Parda system. Women can also meet me and talk to me and deliver the petitions to me. So that is the justice of Akbar. Then you can talk about Akbar, religiosity. Religiosity in a style of, deliberation. Deliberation you can talk about. So here deliberation, how deliberation is happening? What he made in 1575, he made a chamber, a council where all the religions were actually talking to each other, and the king was also engrossed in that and having the broad system of the mind. Rest alone the systems of monarchy, the dictatorship of the Mughal Empire or whatever we talk about. But Akbar example is good example here, where he's shown not apathy, but sympathy or empathy to the religious aspect of all the persons in his empire. It seems to be from this example. Okay, so this example can be given there. Then we talk about competency, professional competency. We can have several examples. Ethicality, there was one example of Dr. Kalam. Dr. Kalam, when he was in, I don't know exactly, I do not remember which organization, but one scientific organization, because there are 3-4 scientific organizations he has worked with. In one scientific organization, there was big walls, and in walls, there was like glasses. You put the glasses because of security. So those glasses were there on the wall. These glasses were there, but actually birds were coming and, perching over there. They were sitting over there. But when the birds will be sitting there, their feet will be, cut down by the wall, those glasses. And Dr. Kalam seen it, and he got very, very, disturbed by this thing. He told to put all the glasses from there so that birds can actually sit there very effectively, and put all the things which are actually comfortable to the birds. So this is called not only professionally competent in your organization, but ethical also, not only to people, but all the service to the not only mankind, but the universal kind. This is the motto of Jainism also. See the life and dignity in even the inanimate object, those which cannot move. So you cannot have a very aggressive behavior towards, even the walls, even the soil, even to those people, those things which you see at dead. In Jainism teaches that. So you have to write that. Not only religiosity, that is professionally competent. Then you can talk about 7 sins. Okay, you can talk about what? Professionally competent, 7 sins. 7 sins, Gandhi says that, you see this. You will feel how you can connect the 20 pointers I've talked about. You're able to see now?
Yes, bro.
Yes, sir.
Wealth without work. So competence, just see the professional competent with the ethicality. Wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, knowledge without character. So this is what? Knowledge without character comes there. Commerce without morality. In every aspect of professional competence, you can have this. You can actually relate this. Politics without principles. So good politics, professionally competent politics without principle is a sin. Okay. Worship without sacrifice. Without sacrificing for something, you are doing worship, you are not ready to serve the mankind. So that is professionally competent rituals, but not ethically competent sacrifice. So you are sinner. Then commerce without morality. Without commerce, without morality, you should not do commerce. That is professionally competent, very profitable business. Without morality is a dead business, as seen by Gandhiji. So this is the seventh thing. Science without humanity. If you are not serving the humanity, you are going to the moon or Mars or anywhere. It does not matter to any poor man or person. Then it is the science without humanity. So this is professionally competent science, but incompetent ethics. Then you see knowledge without character. So if your knowledge is very good, you are professionally competent in your skill and knowledge, but your character is not good. You are a sin to the society. Then you are talking about pleasure without conscience. So you are taking the pleasure. Pleasure is professionally competent pleasure. You are going to pubs and bars and all the places, but your conscience is not there. You are not thinking that whether this is harming my thing, my long-term future, others, others sentiment towards me, our near and dear one and all those. You don't have conscience. You don't have actually the commitment towards them. Wealth without work. If you have professionally competent, you can create wealth. But if you are not working hard for the society, nation, people, and you are getting the money in black, not positive money, negative money, then that wealth is dead. That wealth is a sin without work. So when all area of professional competence, you see that if ethicality is not there, your sin is there. Okay. So that kind of understanding we have to write very, very aggressively. We have to write very emotionally. We have to write, but at the same time, all these pointers are very much rational, if you see so, because it shows that you can think in your answers, isn't it?
Yes, bro. Got it.
Yeah. Now going to, because I delve deeper into that and give to emphasis to this, because I really solved the question in my own way. What I will be writing, I told you. How I will be thinking, I told you, I shown to you. That is the motto of our workshop. This is IAS workshop, because we are actually interacting as a human, not as a profit-oriented IAS business. So here we take along the question also, we expect that you ask the question. So first topic is value ethics and ethics versus professional competency. So you can quote DOPT, you can quote Gandhi, you can quote second ARC, you can quote anything, but you have to relate. It is not that you will write too much, you will be getting good marks. You have to relate too much with yourself, your knowledge, and these questions. That's it. So here it is clear that it is coming directly from and the words you see, professional competency. So they are talking about a DOPT dictionary is what? Competence, civil services dictionary of competency. And they talk about 4 broader areas, and there are more than 20 plus values are there. So you have to read, you have to know about the basic values, basic ethics system, what is meaning to the, what do you understand by the ethics? So it is your understanding they are asking. And here you have to prove that how it is. So you have to prove not only that professionally competent, what will be happening, good work, good money, good lifestyle, everything good, but you will be not having the character, you will be not having the good work, you will be not having all those things which are needed to serve the society. So ethics comes there. If you put the ethics, people will be actually respecting you, giving value to you, and you are also creating value for the society. So it's a two-way street. So this is done. Then next, what do you understand the following terms in public service? So see this word is mentioned, right? Public service or civil services in one of the aspect of syllabus. So here you talk about integrity. So integrity is written 5-10 times over there in syllabus. You start with your syllabus heading and you start with integrity. What is that? Ethics, integrity, and aptitude. So decoded integrity, Satyanishta it is called in Hindi. The complete honesty is integrity, not unbroken at any condition. You are serving the truth. So that is integrity of yours. So you have to actually, public service, you have to actually engross these. You don't write the common meaning, but you have to relate in the context of public service. What is public service, first of all? So difference between public service, one topic you write, difference between public service. I'm actually making out the question. I will make the question and you will see in the next year. If you work on these, you will see in the next year, then next year. And in this way, you will be seeing in the next year, 2022, all the questions are guessed by me, 100%. Not even from outside, okay? That kind of we can have with you. This is the workshop method. No teacher can do like that this because that harms their future business. They will shut the shop. So this is public service, you write. Second topic, public service versus private service versus civil service. Then you write in third topic, public, private, and civil service. What is the difference? Versus means difference you have to see. Now see. So service is there. So you have servant also. So service is, and again you write servant also. Who are public servants? What is the definition of public servant? Who are civil servant? What is the definition of public servant? Then who are private servants? Okay, so these are the things. Then you have public administration. Public administration and public administrator. Administrator. Write it like one word. And you have to actually prepare the meaning of public administrator. Who is the public administration? Whether it is civil servant and what is the difference versus civil servant. So very basic question you have to ask to yourself. This is very childish kind of game we have to play. Otherwise, we will fail to write the essence of these things because even we don't know. We are just trying in the exam. We're trying to improve. But our service here is to improve beforehand only. So what is public administrator? What is public administration and versus civil service? What is civil service? And what is here versus public service? So you connect there, okay? Then you talk about public service or public administration, you talk about governance. What is the difference between governance versus government? Government. And don't write like public administration student. You write like governance versus government. Hey, what is the difference between governance versus government? What is governance? And then you write here only, what is the difference between public administration versus governance? Okay. Similarly, what is public administration versus government? Simple question you have to ask. So these are topics, broader topics. Other than this, I just basis of this I made public service. So how you relate with public service integrity? So in one word, what we can see about public service, it is emanating from public administration. What services are delivery done by the public administration or public administrator or even the government or the government representative or the public representative all falls under the public service category. So don't see it as only civil services or only civil servant, but write like in a broader sense. So Dr. Kalam will be a public service oriented person, a public servant when he was working in a DRDO or anywhere. So Dr. Kalam example will be coming because of that, not because he is a IAS officer or something, but in public service, IAS officer, PCS officer, 4th grade officer, casual worker even are coming because they are actually serving the cause of public service. So whoever is serving the cause of public, so they are getting you when you will be seeing these Padma awards are being given. You can take the example of Padma award here. You write Padma awards, Padma awardees. Now, these are the practical thing you can do with Nobel prizes, public service. They are not asking the specific reference to India. So you can go to international example also, but don't go too much. Write in the most of the time but write differently at different places, so that you do not see your mind is very blocked. You are only seeing from the perspective of one lens. You see from the perspective of other lenses. So you can talk about Nobel Prakash Satyarthi. Prakash Satyarthi got Peace Prize. What? Bachpan Bachao Andolan. So he talked about child education. Along with Malala Yousafzai, he got Nobel Prize. So in the service of education, that is public service. So when the Padma Vibhushan or Padma Bhushan will be given, like Ram Vilas Paswan, what he got? In the public service category. Shinzo Abe got Padma Vibhushan in which category? Public service category. Manji, there was one Manji guy. In what service? Public service. So these are public services, not only civil service. So civil service and public service has a difference. And if we don't know, we write like civil service, IAS officer, they always think, oh, this man even does not know about public service. And he claimed to be an IAS officer. He is not knowing the nitty-gritty of Indian administration. It is all about nitty-gritty. It is all about minute things you have to say. So that is the demand of the question. Integrity. In what way? Public services, integrity, shown integrity, So you will be showing some example where people have shown integrity in the services also, when people have shown integrity in the public service also. Okay, integrity. Perseverance. Okay, perseverance means taking along one thing for longer time and not even, putting down your guard even if the failures are coming. That is my understanding. Your understanding can be like perseverance is what for you. So in public service, how the perseverance is necessary? Some big projects are there, going on for years and years altogether. Some projects will be failing again and again. Then also government and the public servants will be again and again re-envisioning it like poverty alleviation. Poverty alleviation, if one 5-year plan could not serve, second 5-year plan came. And we have 12 5-year plan, and then still poverty alleviation is being done. And we have lakhs and lakhs of schemes and scams, then also poverty alleviation could not happen. This is the reality. Here, what we actually see, we talk about incrementalism. We do not actually want to change this society in one day. That was the envisioning of our forefathers. So perseverance was the envisioning of our forefather. We can talk about tryst with destiny, right? Tryst with destiny. Write this. You can write tryst with destiny of a speech of Jawaharlal Nehru. We can talk about that. We can talk about here in perseverance. You can talk about this Martin Luther King Jr. What he talked about here? If you cannot walk, you can crawl. If you cannot run, you can walk. You cannot walk, you can crawl. But by any means, you have to keep going. That is the definition of perseverance. That just with destiny dialogue, what he said, Jawaharlal Nehru told in that night that what? India will awake to the light and freedom. India will awake to the light and freedom in centuries to come. And for that, we have made the republic. Okay. These are not the exact words, but you have to read in Tryst of Destiny. He talked about poverty alleviation. He talked about Fabian socialism. He talked about, but he did not talk about any kind of extremist element. He cannot talk about anything undemocratic. He cannot talk about Marxism. He cannot talk about Naxalism or anything which is like bound by, very, very fast progress. He envisioned an India where Indian people is free to take the action. Even if slowly, they will go with perseverance and they will change their future. The destiny, tryst with destiny. We'll meet the destiny at some point of time, and that time has begun now. We have begun the race, but with our own kind of set. That is sovereign, secular republic. Right? Later on, we'll see socialist also. That was the implicit command of tryst with destiny. So we can talk about perseverance in that way. Indian Republic, in public service, how the public servants actually gradually progressed, how the perseverance been 75 years of republic, even if the Britishers when leaving were saying that this republic will gone away. Well, just like the pack of card, it will be like going down within 10, 20 years, because this society is very divisive. But they actually did division into the society. India was not divided at any point of time. It was having its own system of society and its running of the society. So public service, you can talk about integrity, perseverance. You can talk about how some officers are actually rescuing. In the Bihar, there was one incident recently where in Kaimur Hills, and these trolleys, the sky trolleys got actually derailed. Some people actually got stuck. NDRF team came, the IAS officers, the PCS officers, night and day, 24/7, they actually they started the rescue operation. That is the perseverance. And at that fag end of the moment, when they were very hungry, they were eating in the jungles. That picture was there in the newspaper. So that is called perseverance for the public service. That is the real life example. When this Armstrong Palme, so he talked about 100-kilometer road, whether it was easy, 100-kilometer road. You cannot even you cannot walk easily on 1 kilometer. And he made 100-kilometer road without, taking any penny from the government. How it was possible? It was possible because of perseverance in this project. Okay, so you can talk about like that. Perseverance example, Delhi Metro. E. Sridharan, you can talk about perseverance there. E. Sridharan was man of integrity also, man of perseverance also. You can take anywhere, but you cannot take everywhere. You have to have a different set of example. You can talk about major example at international level also. So many people are doing justice to the society in their own ways. Ban Ki-moon, you can talk about so many UN secretaries generals who have done very good service to the society and making peace to the world. So those are public service, right? So public servant, public service, perseverance, the spirit of service. I talked about a spirit of service that is called ethos in one word, and that is defined by DOPT. So what is the spirit of service? The spirit of service is service orientation. The spirit of service is citizen orientation. The spirit of service is service delivery at doorstep at the quickest moment. Service delivery is spirit of service is to wiping tears from every eye that envisioned by the Gandhi. The spirit of service is Antyodaya, uplifting the last man in the row, giving service to those who are needy, those who are poor. So this is the welfare state. DPSP you will quote here, spirit of service. So public service. How the public service is making forward a spirit of service? Public service is aligned to the destiny of we the people. We the people must be served with the spirit of service. Otherwise, this nation will not grow. The society will not grow. You can talk about a spirit of service in Mary O'Leary. Mary O'Leary. In these words, you can actually quote public administration examples also. Don't show your narrow mindset. You show your broader mindset. You are open. You are an individual. You are a courageous individual. You can write anything and convince anything. With any kind of knowledge, you can convince the Mary O'Leary. You can write socially embedded process. Socially embedded process. What is socially embedded process? Public administration is a socially embedded process. And what for human flourishing of all. Every people's development, you need a spirit of service. That is human flourishing of all. Embedded into the society, that is the spirit of service. Not rooted in, sky, but rooted on the grassroots level of democracy. That is public service, okay? Public service is local governance. Public service is local delivery of services. Public service is uplifting those masses who are very poor and taking them along on the mainstream of the society. That is spirit of service. Then commitment. Some of the real life example in the flood situation, the spirit of service. In the emergency situation, spirit of service. In the war situation, spirit of service. In the disaster management, spirit of service. One man was there in northeastern area, one state was there. It was like Assam flood, I guess. In Assam flood, there was one officer who was IAS officer. In Kerala also, there was one officer, IAS officer. He was like putting the sack on his head and then putting to the trucks and all. And he was going bare chested in the water with the people and serving and delivering to them the needed material. That is the spirit of service. For what you are taking, for what you claiming that I need service because I am a such and such integrity of person. If you are not showing on the ground, you are a waste of time, waste of your life also, because you are looting this nation. You are more than a terrorist. You feel like that. So you feel for the service, you feel for the society, you feel for the nation, you feel for the constitution, you feel for your motherland. That is a spirit of service. Nothing more than that. So public service is aligned to the goal of a spirit of service. That is delivery at any cost. Delivery everywhere. Delivery to the poor sections, the downtrodden of the section of society. Biasness to them. That is spirit of service. You are not biased toward the high of. You are biased towards and bonded to, bonded to the spirit of service at the ground level. Commitment to the service. How committed you are to public service. So the parameter of commitment should be internal, not external. Like, I'm not being forced to serve. I'm not being forced to perform. I'm not being checked or monitored to perform, but I'm committed internally to perform. That is the service orientation of commitment. How commitment can be defined? Committed means you are not seeing anything else. You are seeing that one goal, that is public service. So that goal orientation, that job orientation, that public centeredness, citizen centricity, that information centricity, the commitment to seva uttam, the quality of service, quality management, all these things are showing the commitment from your side. So you actually sense that what the public service is meant for, and the higher goals are written in what I told you in the 20 commandment. Write the preamble words from there. Write the DPSP word. Write the constitutional order and constituent assembly debates you listen. So those are the core ideas. You listen to the leaders of this nation. You listen to the world leaders, the United Nations, the World Economic Forum, how they are envisioning for the world. So they are actually committed to the problems of the world, solving them, not only problems, but solving them. So committed to the solution. So that is the public service orientation of commitment. So you have to think like that. Then courage of conviction. So conviction is nothing and courage is nothing without your uprightness. If you are upright, you are courageous in the service. So courage of conviction means saying no. Not yes man, but even no man. If your service is hindered by local politicians, you will say no to them. I will not do without any cause. I am committed to constitutional order. I am committed to people. I am committed to parliament. I am committed to representative of the people, not the like here and there. I am not making the nexus. So courage of conviction comes from your inner saying, inner call. That is not a job, but integral job of, integral job to the society, your, commitment to the society. So courage of conviction comes from your understanding of the business of governance, where you have to be upright, where you have to be very, very straightforward. You in letter, not only in letter, but spirit also. Letter and spirit, following the rule of law. You are actually maintaining law and order situation. You are actually performing at any condition, you are able to perform courage of conviction. So you are courageous enough to say with the firm voice that I have to perform this, and to perform that, if need be, I will take the call. I will take the help of police. I will take the help of army. I will take the help of any minister, anything, but I will perform there. If it is harming me, I will take the force with me. Like encroachment drive. So many people will be not happy with the encroachment drive, but you have to show the courage of conviction. So many people will be not happy to snatch the land for the delivery of public service, nahar, nala, drains, roads and all those things, bridges. But you have to acquire them at any cost, because you have to show here the characteristic of courage of conviction. So courage of conviction is a permanent feature. I'm talking about permanent feature of character of a civil servant. He has to show at a daily level courage of conviction. He has to say no to several persons. He has to say yes to several persons. Yes to what? Even saying no to good thing will be actually damaging you. You have to say yes. Okay. Are you having any difficulty listening to me? Jingesh, bro?
No, bro.
We are joined by two places.
Now leaving.
Yeah, please leave them. That's why you are like echoing. Are you getting my voice properly till now?
Yes, bro. Yes.
You are understanding? Predna,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have to be in certain mode, otherwise I cannot deliver this kind of high stuff. Okay. So courage of conviction, clear? How the courage of conviction is related to public service. Without that, you cannot actually deliver on ground big projects, big implementation, big actions you have to take. Demolishing something which is illegal construction, dealing with the public who are like very, very angry to you, or rights, doing the rights. You have to fire sometimes to actually, sky fire, and you have to disperse the crowd so that other persons can, you have to take the help of army also sometimes in disaster management. NDRF and all those special forces are being called. You can have this courage of conviction. You are being threatened by some of the goons that they will harm to your family and all, and then you take the help of this. So in the case of Virappan, there was like Bidri, that Bidri title was there, somebody was there. I'm not knowing the name of the IPS officer. Her like his daughter also became rank 1 actually later. So he was the IPS officer, and for months and months altogether he was like away from the house, and he was planning and planning and planning to catch the Birappan, and ultimately he catches that. So his family was like secret family kind of thing. He cannot his family cannot interact with the public also. So that kind of situation was happening, and then finally Virappan case, and actually, and so many IPS officer was there. I am talking just about one officer, but there was like so many officers who were showing the courage of conviction there. Because you have to be convinced by yourself that you are doing a good job, you are an integral man, you are actually spirited towards public service. So what conviction is? You are convinced by yourself that your action and your character are very upright, you will deliver to the service. That is courage of conviction. And in public service, why it is necessary? Because to delivery, citizen centricity, the governance centricity, the order of the law, the law and order situation is being dealt by the rule of law. So if you have to follow the rule of law in letter and spirit, you need courage of conviction. So these words, why I am explaining to you, I'm not teaching you each and every word. You have to prepare it by your own only. Ultimately, I cannot give lectures to you, but I'm showing that these words are your actually, you start writing these words. Public service, related to public service, you have to write these words: integrity, perseverance, spirit of service, commitment, courage of service. So that will, when they will be asking you 10 words, these words will be coming handy to you later on. If you see it, that these words are related to public service orientation, like in 2021, they asked you, you can use these values there. They are asking you public service values, that you can ask there. You can write there: integrity, perseverance, spirit of service, commitment, courage of conviction. These kind of words you have to write, not the generic word. So you write in your topic. Have you written that in topic? Meaning in public service. Make this title: meaning in public service, and you write all these words one by one: integrity, perseverance, spirit of service, commitment, courage of conviction. You wrote that? Actually, these words are actually your notes also later on when you will be growing up in the this thing. Next, written that previous one?
Yes, bro. Yes, yes.
Okay. Indicate 2 more attributes which you consider important for public service. So attributes of public service orientation. Public servants. So attributes will be held by whom? Public servants. But attributes will be working for which thing? Public service orientation. So attributes. So this should be your listicle 10, 20, 15 words. You must have that. Okay, that is the word. Next, write very fast. Make it fair and then show to me if you want it. Some people feel that values keep changing with time and situation, while others strongly believe there are certain universal and eternal human values. Give your perception in this regard with due justification. 150 words. See, this is related to, again, all those earlier thing also was related to your syllabus. Now it is also related to, in the first part only, they are talking about human values. You see there in your syllabus, human values. Now in human values also, some changeable values are there. Okay, changeable human values. So these are transitory, and second is permanent. So transitory can change along with time and situation. How it is changing? Just for one example, I will tell you. Freedom from Britishers, or the aspect of freedom was before independence. After that, there was relaxation towards that. We are free in this dispensation. And whenever we not free, we talk about freedom from anarchy, not from Britishers. So that is the transitory value we see here. But permanent values, so many values are permanent, like patriotism values, patriotistic values, then also, hence also. So this thing is universal and eternal human values. So permanent values are a different kind, transitory values are of different kind. But you are actually talking about here human values and aspects and types of it. So you will write in the topic human values, types of it. Their types. What are the types? So this is the one aspect. Whatever your topic number is, you put there. And you can write universal, eternal, transitory. Three word you write. It is mentioned in questions, so you will write like that. Okay. And if you know these very well, you can write this. If you know the changeable thing, eternal value, universal value, transitory value, you can write this question very well. How you can write the question? You just see. If you know what are human values, what are eternal or universal, and what are changing values, then what they are asking. Some people feel that values keep changing with time and situation, while others strongly believe that there are certain universal and eternal values. This is only about the difference between transitory and universal values. Nothing. Give your perception. Your opinion is very important. So in 50 words, you will give the opinion. That definitely values are meaning to be changed. Like, we will give the example of LPG. Liberalization, privatization, globalization. How it is changed? Now, Sarkar, now the government is also profit-oriented. The government is also profit-oriented. It is not a free service anymore for so many things. And government is also creating differential structure. What is the example? Railways. Earlier railways was having same price structure for everyone, even rich and poor. Now what they are doing, they will be creating structures how you can afford. So AC charges will be more and more. You will be having also aeroplane like charges. As the time goes by, ticket prices will be going up. So this is the LPG value: liberalization, privatization, globalization values, and the values it is creating in the society. What is the value? It is value of economy, economical value. Value is economic. Human values here, what will be there as a human value there? Profit orientation or service orientation. So service orientation is a human value. Profit orientation is also a human value. But service orientation was more there when we were talking about the nation, when we were building the nation. Now profit orientation is there because we want the business to grow up also and entrepreneurial capacity also. So we will have to see that in those contexts. But the question is demystified when you know what is human values, what is transitory human values, what is eternal or universal human values. Clear? What is emotional intelligence? You see the third or fourth one. Fourth topic of your syllabus is emotional intelligence. David Goleman. So you know what is human emotional intelligence. Only 3-4 components of their emotional intelligence. Know thyself or know yourself. You know your emotions very well. How emotive you are, how depressive you are. You have to find that first. Then you have to understand your characteristic, that how you put your emotions at work with the society. So how you deal with the society and how you put your emotions at place, the sensitivity at place. So knowing yourself and your emotion, knowing society's problem, issues and emotions and their downtroddenness or their emotions, and then putting both of these emotions at work and working out the solution very, very sensitively. That is sensitivity. Your sensitivity should be there. In a very sensitive way, you have to deliver the services to the people. So if somebody is asking you and that person is very, very depressed at that point of time, asking you for some service, or if you don't provide, what the people do? They will be like burning themselves also. They will be protesting also. They will be throwing a stone. There will be arson and riots also sometimes. This is against the democratic principle. If your emotional intelligence is there, you will be not harming them. You will be not putting, stone for a stone, an eye for an eye will make whole world blind. So you will be not, shooting them. Even if needed, you will be firing in the sky. You will be dispersing the crowd and all those tactics. And then you will going to talk to them. That look, I want to solve your problem, but you have to support us as an administration. As an administrator, I can give you that kind of solace. So that is emotional intelligence, knowing the situation, knowing yourself, putting your emotion and society's emotions at work. If anything goes berserk, if anything goes, moves ahead your way, then something big disaster will happen. If you are very angry with the minister itself, minister will fire at you, by your words, they will be like transferring you anything. Any harsh action can be happening. If the society's emotion is very charged, they will be writing, arsoning, they will be damaging public property, they will be like devastating this nation. So that thing must be curbed at, if you know those emotions, if you know the sensitivity of people, if you know what their problems are beforehand only, so you assess the ground at the grassroots. So that is the emotional intelligence at work. So you have to know. So this is the topic. Topic name is emotional intelligence, and this is written in syllabus. So either you prepare the syllabus, either you prepare the question, one and same. How can it be developed in people? So ways to develop also. So that is the topic, ways to develop emotional intelligence, EI. And then what is there? How does it help an individual in taking ethical decision? Obviously, emotional intelligence creates what? Emotional intelligence creates what? First thing is, emotional intelligence creates consciousness, conscious attitude. Emotional intelligence creates conscience also. Your atma, your soul force will be more and more, because you are now knowing sensible administrator, sensibility. Fourth, service orientation. Many more you can actually. Your emotions are at place. Your mind is at place. You are knowing the society's issues with sensitivity. You can actually make ethical decisions, not unethical decisions. And you can give the examples at several places. While tackling the crowd, while tackling the people's representatives who are charged, while tackling the person who is very emotionally charged by the death of near and dear one due to government action or something, where the some disaster has happened in the government apparatus or even in the private apparatus, then people are charged that, look, our people has gone away. Those kind of things are ethical decisions, where you don't have to put your status up, but your mind and your emotions at place. That, look, you are dealing with humans, they will be charged at sometimes, and they will be for that they will be actually doing things which are not needed, and that is looking very inhuman to you. But when you will be at that place, if somebody's mother or father has died because of some action of police or some action of something, then definitely they will be showing charge. So that's why there is one example, Naxalism, left-wing extremism. People are not now treating them as enemies if they are not doing. And when eliminating, before eliminating, people give chances. Government gives chances that you can surrender and come join the politics also. So many Naxalites have joined the politics, the mainstream politics, and actually making the changes. Because of that, they were very aggrieved earlier. So surrendering policy, they will be getting some money also. They will be settling their life also. So left-wing extremism, there are policies for that. You can actually write those policies. If you know the emotional intelligence, you will be not harming them. You will be actually inviting them to, because the fight will be like two sides. The CRPF men are, the Central Armed Forces are actually being killed in the combing operations. And these Naxals are actually taking the revenge of guerrilla tactics again and again, harming them by those bombs, LEDs. So these are emotional intelligence, how it is developed, and ethical decisions how. So these are actually, this is not an actual question. This question is actually solved when you are actually ready with this thing. So this is just the explanation of it, just to make question that it does not look very childish question. They are actually making tales and tales and tales. We'll be writing same, but you have to write each part separately. First part is emotional intelligence. Second part will be how it can be developed in people. 50 word, 50 word, 50 word. How does it help in individual taking ethical decision? So that's I told you, like consciousness, conscience development, soul force development, these things are because of emotional intelligence. You can give the historical example also. Emotional intelligence of those people are very high, and it is different from what? IQ, intelligence quotient. So here IQ and EQ is totally different. So those who are very IQ oriented will be creating Osama bin Laden kind of personality. But those are having IQ also and EQ also, they will be creating Kalam Saab. These examples are frequent. You can get the D.K. Balaji book also, same kind of example. What do you understand by voice of conscience? You write this term, voice of conscience is one characteristic. How do you prepare your heed to the voice of? No need to actually prepare this. Why? If you know how the voice of conscience works, so you will be talking about how you prepare yourself for voice of conscience. Voice of conscience is developed. You sit with yourself, silent. Sometimes you actually detox yourself from social media for some time. Then you actually see your upbringing from where you are actually, because most of the persons who are civil servants are coming from the humble backgrounds only. So you remember your roots. Then you remember the learnings also of great men. So that is also one voice of conscience, great men. You can talk about Gandhiji. When one woman came to Gandhiji that, look, sir, this girl of mine or boy of mine is actually taking too much of sugar. Good, it is called. The red kind of sugar is there. So Gandhiji told, come next week. So she came with the child. Now Gandhiji took her into arms and told, please don't take it, son or daughter, whatever it was. Don't take it. But the women told earlier also, you could have told. So he told, no, my voice of conscience was not allowing me. My voice of conscience was not at place because I was wrong at that place, because I was the habitual eater of sugar, the good. So that kind of thing you have to see here. Okay. So you can actually make 10 kind of things, a voice of conscience, but you have to understand what is voice of conscience. So voice of conscience, if you have to actually deliver in one line, you can take that even at the best of pleasure, there is one voice inside, little voice inside, which tells us what is right and what is wrong for me, for my family and society, for my nation. That is the thing. And it is the pleasure. Pleasure can be changed. This world can be changed with harm, pressure, offers, rewards to do some wrong thing. Some do good thing. So voice of conscience, if it is active, you will be doing more good than wrong. Right? So voice of conscience is one topic. Crisis of conscience is against voice of conscience. You see, they have lethargically made the question at the start. 2013 was the first paper they have made. Crisis of conscience. Narrate one incident in your life when you were faced with such a crisis and how you resolved the same. Are you seeing that? They are actually interested in practical things more, right? And now they are not literally writing it because they have written it again and again. So it is you that you have to understand that you have to write your own practical life and example. For that, you have to have a small diary or in your notepad only. The last pages should be utilized for your own example. So gradually talk to your mother, talk to your father, talk to your brother, talk to your sister, talk to your friend, talk to your life partner, spouse or whatever, and then make the own examples. Remember your life, just reel back yourself, just flashback yourself in your past life and remember 1, 2, 3 where you did good things, where you faltered also, but you realized, where you did, good things to other in a very, very right way at a very tender age. So make the list of that in your own way and then make it very minute kind of thing, very minute observation, because examiner will be not seeing your answer that you have written and you have made up your answer. Don't make up your answer here. Make up your own ethical sense, but show that you know in a very, very minute sense and you are not making up. So you write that I have shown the integrity there. I have shown that voice of conscience there in such a way. I was at a bus stand. I was at, railway station. I was at the road, Falana road. So you have to take the road name, then timing, then the incident in actuality, a little bit detail, and then write. I have shown that kind of attitude there, that kind of characteristic there. Okay. So that will be giving you fairness. That will be giving you honest answers, and it will be looked like honest upon answers. Voice of conscience versus crisis of conscience. What is the difference? What is crisis of conscience? Where you are thinking, your voice of conscience is telling you that, look, help that person, help that person. Your conscience is like hammering you. Look at that person, help him, help that old man. But your bus departs, your train departs. You have certain very urgent work. You have to break some rule to get somewhere. So that is crisis of conscience. Your conscience is there, your voice of conscience is there, but you have to break your voice of conscience. So that is crisis of conscience. What is the example of that? The crisis of conscience is what? There is one thing, like you are a very law-abiding person. Law-abiding person. But once you get up to the train, because you have to get up to the train and you are not getting the ticket, you go without ticket. You're now, nobody is being seen. You are expecting that some ticket checker will be coming and I will be making by giving the whatever fees or penalty or charges, but nobody comes. You have to get down at your desired station. And your voice of conscience is telling, oh, you have done just injustice to the system. Yeah, 200 rupees have gone to the coffer of the government, but it has not gone. What you do then? How to actually do that? How to do? Can you just tell me what is the answer of that? How you justify your action then? Getting the incident? Lingesh, are you there?
Yeah, bro, I'm there. But I'm not getting the exact incident.
You are getting up to train. Okay.
Okay.
You have not got the ticket, even if you tried your best, but you have to go. Just like imagine you have to go to the examination somewhere at auto station,
Okay.
and you did not get the ticket. You thought that I will be going there and I will be utilizing those provisions of law where you give the penalty to the ticket checker, TTE, and you will be having the ticket, and then somehow you will be going to the destination as it is very emergent situation. But while you were imagining that, nobody came to check you. No TTE came.
Okay.
And even at the station, nobody asked you that whether you are having ticket or not. Then your wife will be telling that I have like ticketless. I have not like given the due to the public coffer. Whatever the amount of ticket is, 200 or 500, whatever. What you will do that? That is the actual example of crisis of conscience. You wanted to do something right, but you could not do the right. And your voice is telling that you have done wrong. What is the solution of it? Resolution.
Like we should ourselves go to the ticket collector office. There will be surely there will be office, and we must inform that I have done this and this, and I am willing to pay my.
Why I have to pay
I am willing. I am willing to pay the penalty.
The honesty is honesty. To do honesty, there are hurdles. A little bit of more time you need. Even if you can tell, there is a situation, if the case study is telling, you cannot go to the ticket checker TTE office because you are running out of time.
Oh.
Then what you will tell? Simple, bro, simple. You will be coming back now anyhow to the station to get back to your home.
Yeah.
At that time you tell.
No.
You do your work also. Then come back.
Yeah.
It is just like, just give me, Judge Sahab, me Lord, just give me time to do this thing and I will come and depose before you.
Okay.
It is the common phrase in the judicial terminology. And, and the judges give them. They know that this is the genuine case. What is the genuine case? My father has died, Judge Sahab, me Lord. My father has died. Please let me go and do the rituals and let me come back and depose before you. Whatever will be the charges, I will be like paying that, and I will be like going to the jailers. That is the honest aspect of it. Honesty is little difficult, but it's still triable. So that is the solution of crisis of conscience. A very practical solution is very simple. You know, you can come back and you can have that same thing.
What I interpreted was like in that situation, maybe we wouldn't come back through the same mode of transport. Like that, I was thinking.
But
so
anyway,
we must act at that time, right?
Even
so
if,
I was thinking that way.
Even if you are, but the bar was there. The bar was telling you that you cannot instantly do that because you have work to do. Like examination will be not happening according to your own wishes. Your interview will be not happening according to your own wishes. What you will do? Even if you are going to other modes after the examination, you can come back to the station, depose before them. Now, one more thing can happen. There is no person in the TTE office. They are lackluster. You are very concerned about law and order and all those things. Your voice of conscience is very, very deep, but theirs are not. Nobody is there. What you will do? What you will do?
Can you tell the incident again? Like there is a ticket collector office and there is no person at the office.
If you cannot do anything, still invest that money in government system.
Yeah.
How? There are so many coffers. PM, NRF, National Relief Fund, and they are like funds made for those CRPF persons. You can donate over there.
I was thinking one more solution.
Yeah.
What was that? Like like I interpreted, like imagine if we aren't coming back through the same mode of transport, after getting back home we can send a TD or something, writing a letter as well, and then send it to the office itself, so they might credit.
You can send it. You can send it. You can deposit through other means also, but you can also raise here. One thing you can raise long-term solution. You have to think long-term solution. People just like Mr. Modi tells that if you are, even if you are eligible, but you are high off, you are not a poor, you can actually donate that money to, you can actually, opt out of what? Like LPG?
The subsidy.
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 And it can give one cylinder to one Ujjwala lady. Ujjwala plan or Ujjwala scheme lady can be served through that. Are you getting me? So that long-term solution will be here what? Long-term solution, if the department is not having online penalty mechanism, you can request the high off that it should be there. You can write the letter like this kind of situation happened to me. Please do this kind of administrative apparatus where I cannot have crisis of conscience because my voice of conscience is alive. If my voice of conscience is alive, then there are many people who think like me, and government system can be benefited out of it. Right? If you can make the charges through UPI in most of the government departments now, you can have penalty charges through that also. So this is called long-term solution mindset. You write that. And you have to write, not only solve the given process at your hand, but long-term solution also you have to create. Every question you have to try this out in UPSC to get the marks. These are the hidden secrets toppers are actually enjoying, and you need to be topper this time. If you are not a topper, I will definitely push you. Crisis of conscience. Narrate one incident in your life when you were faced with such a crisis and how you resolved this. You have to think the examples like these situations. And how you will be making? You are making the categories for these things. Not only for this crisis of conscience, but your real life incidents. There is one like, way out. You write this, how to frame ethical incidents from our own life. And then you write my solution, how actually I will be framing. So there is one SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis. Okay. There is one pestle analysis. Okay. There is one spot analysis that you do, I know. And there is one speculation. And there is one life cycle approach. Life cycle approach. There is one 7-sin proposition. 7-sin proposition. There is one preamble, SSSDR, and justice, that is social, economic, and political, and other things written in there. Fraternity, unity, brotherhood, those words are written there. Okay. Then you have fundamental rights. Then you have duties, FDs. And then you have DPSP. You write in these incident in your life. So how you actually find and how you go into the flashback, because it is very hard to find, because our normal systems do not actually expect to remember the good things we done to the society. So you can spot like this. If you like do this thing, like just see here. Have you done any social justice to any person, even if you were not in the position? Have you done economic justice to any man or woman or anything outside your family, even if you are not in a position in the past? Have you done political justice to any man? Have you represented them at any cost? So these are the flashback. Are you getting me? So you ask the question in this way. Have you made someone sovereign? Just like us, people are sovereign in this society. Have you treated them as a sovereign? Like, have you listened to them intently? And how in the debate you were like, I will defend to all the right of yours to speak, even if you speak ill will of me, but I will speak to you very, very intently. I'm just telling you that these incidents should not be written in what way I am envisioning, but I'm just telling you that in this way you can remember your flashbacks. What is the life cycle approach? You can remember that when in young age, what you have done, in the school age, what you have done, adolescence, +2, graduation, university, interaction with your friends. This is life cycle approach. Incident with your father, mother, brother, society. So many places you have gone, life cycle approach. Just to remember the flashback. Right. And spot those at least from each area of your life, in the education, in the health, in the support, in your character, in the honesty, integrity, in the crisis of conscience, at least 20, 25, 30, 50, whatever you can, but at least 20 to 25, you should have those examples so that you can write and build it. Build it day by day. You actually put it with the coverage, because it has gone into the flashback will be very, very flimsy. So narrate those incidents in your answers. Crisis of conscience, how to resolve, resolution, voice of conscience against that crisis of conscience.
Okay.
You always have to actually remember at the same time and contrast at the same time while making notes. So what is the difference between voice of conscience and crisis of conscience? And what is the difference between this thing? Courage of conviction, crisis of conscience, and voice of conscience. Which things are looking same should be differentiated also. And here also, integrity, what is the difference between integrity and commitment? That kind of thing. What is the difference between a spirit of service and commitment? Looking like same, na?
Yeah.
Spirit of service and commitment. What is the difference between integrity and commitment? And in difference, what we write, we do not only define, we actually churn out those points which are different in these, not common in these. And contrast is what? Comparing. Comparing is what? What is plus, what is same and what is different. Contrast is what? What is extra and what is difference? What is definitely extra, not common, right?
Okay.
So those things you have to understand. And we'll do it with all the topics we are doing. We'll be contrasting. We'll be making differences out of that. But because you will be seeing that they are asking differences also somewhere, some point. Now, quotations. Write a separate page for that. Separate page. Separate page means 4 or 5 pages later, if you are utilizing your copy, if you are utilizing A4 sheet, you will be writing that moral thinkers and philosophers, they are asking the quotation. So if you know the moral and thinkers and philosophers understanding, like Mahatma Gandhi, they have asked, Lincoln, they have asked, Aristotle, they have asked. So what do you know about it, Prerna? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
So what do you know about Mahatma Gandhi's as a moral thinker or philosopher? What do you know about him previously? What kind of philosopher he was? What he was teaching?
Social justice, equality,
rights to women.
yes,
That comes under right to equality, but specific. Service to the nation, service to the downtrodden, right? Satya, Ahimsa, soul force, that is passive resistance. These are Mahatma Gandhi. So you will be knowing that. So his statement, you will be knowing that it will be not against the poor. It will be not against the downtrodden. His character will be very upright in that case. And then Abraham Lincoln, what you know about him, that he was against the racism. Yeah, he was against that racial crisis happening in America, black and white, all those things, slavery, abolition of slavery, and because of that he was being shot. Aristotle, you know that he was a political thinker. So his thinking will be more in democracy, more in those parameters of democratic aspects of governance and representation. So if you know these things, and if you are well read about great moral thinkers and philosophers, and we'll teach that in our course. So what you will be seeing? You will be seeing that these statements will be somehow related to that. But you are not sticking to those quotations only and understanding of Gandhi, even if you don't know some of the thinkers, but still you have to decode it in your own ways and in your own, ethical thinking ways. So there is enough on this earth for everyone's need, but no one's greed. Let's now come together, both of you, come together and depose before me what I have already told you in this session itself, what can be related here, related to Gandhi, through his own thinking. Understand the question and please answer me.
Yeah. So you want me to tell from the teachings of Gandhi itself, what are his teachings?
Teaching here only I taught about in the previous aspect of our class right now.
Right.
What I have lectured here, it is the answer here. About Gandhi only. The parameters of Gandhi I told you just now.
The concept of trusteeship I am remembering.
Okay, one trusteeship. So trusteeship principle is also there. What more? What more? There is enough on this earth for everyone's need, but no one's greed. What is this? What he is talking about?
Like the limiting desires.
Yeah, need versus greed.
Differentiate between the need and the greed. Yeah.
Yeah, need versus greed means you have to follow
own conscience, we can say.
Yeah. Now you are coming to that. See, 7 sin of Gandhi. About the full need and versus greed demand at every place. In the science, what he talks about? Science without
humanity.
Science without humanity. So that is what? The need of science and greed of science. Then we talk about commerce without
morality.
Morality. So what is morality? If you lose the morality, greed will happen. And if we will be impacting our morality, what the commerce can do, it will fulfill the need of the society because commerce is needed for that. So those thinking, because you have to write a wider answer and very effective answer, you can go with trusteeship principles also. You can go with 7 sins also. And you will go with need versus greed desires, and that devastation came to the world. What is need versus greed? Capitalist versus
climate change.
Yeah. Capitalist actually injecting too much money in the system and taking the profit and not taking care of environment, not taking care of people, not taking care of fairness and justice, not taking care of downtrodden, There was one example, na? If Elon Musk will be like having this much of money, all the world poverty will be eliminated. But they are investing in Twitter. They are investing in different places. Why they are not investing here? Because there is no profit here. So you will talk about what here? Against that system, we need philanthropy, CSR, corporate social responsibility. You write in one parenthesis, in one page, you can write about these practices. Philanthropy word, you write there. CSR, you write there. NGO, you write there. INGO, international NGO, you write there. Yeah, foreign aid, you write there. These are the tools you will be utilizing while solving the case studies also. And you will be giving the solutions also. So you should have those keywords separately where you can again see at the exam hall, before going to the exam hall, and you can chart out various solutions from various aspects. It will be there. And institutions also. Make a list of institutions available to us. Institutions, laws, bills, acts, regulations. These, there should be one page where you will be writing that. What institutions? We have Lokpal, we have Lokayog, we have Whistleblower Protection Act, we have Niti Ayog. And what Niti Ayog will be doing here in your aptitude? Bottom-up planning, policy dynamo, justice, social aspect, planning in a very strategic manner, transformation of India through people's participation. These words you will be writing so that it looks ethical. Lokpal, Lokayog, Whistleblowers Protection Act, Niti Ayog, CBC, CBI, what more, ED, what more, Cyber E-Governance Plan of Government of India, NEGP, National E-Governance Plan, right? RTI, Citizen Charter, NIC. You need to be solution oriented. So you need to understand the system in one keyword, and you know it better in your GS. But here you need just little things, and you will be quoting. Cyber security law. Bills are there like 108th Amendment Act. What is that? What is that, Prerna? 108th Constitutional Amendment Bill? Women's Reservation Bill, which could not get the light of the day. But it is needed in women empowerment. What we can talk about institution? Local government. And what we can talk about institution? Local government subsidiarity principle. You write that, subsidiarity principle. And then you talk about philosophy. There must be a list. One page you make, philosophy list. Philosophy list. You are making the notes, Lingesh?
Yes, bro, I'm writing.
I need your support to make it so enlarged that I can also contribute to you during the preparation. Okay, I will tell you. But I need to look in categories. What, like lectures I am giving, if you make the separate category and send it to me personally, I will be investing in that, just like a bank.
I'll first make I'll first make a list, like a draft, and I'll send it to you. You just verify, and we can do the refining as.
So philosophy list, you write one philosophy list. There you write Antyodaya. This is last man in the row conception. Uplifting the most downtrodden. That is Antyodaya. Antaka Udaya means shining the bright light inside the life of the last man in the row. Second thing, what is the conception of Gandhi? Swaraj. Then Suraj. Suraj means good rule. Swaraj means self-rule. Swaraj, Suraj, Ramraj. And you have all, what is the philosophy? Third philosophy, I'm talking about Rajadharma. Rajadharma conception. Rajadharma conception was given during the Mahabharata and Ramayana period. Okay. But it was like in recent times also talked about by Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. When Gujarat right happened, he talked with Narendra Modi ji and talked that your Rajadharma should be intact. Means you should be equal to all the people in your state. And what are more? Antyodaya, Swaraj, Suraj, Ram.
Satyamev.
Satyamev Jayate. Very good word. Satyamev Jayate. Satyamev Jayate is a philosophy. And where it is written? Mundakopanishad or Kathopanishad?
Mundakopanishad.
So you have to write like that. Here it is written. That is your intellectualism. Okay. Satyamev Jayate. What more? Like this. Yato dharmo. Yato dharmo tato jayah. This is the Supreme Court actually quotation. And what is the Lokpal quotation? Lokpal quotation. Have you heard that? Lokpal.
Lokpal motto is do not be greedy. Something
that kind of Lokpal.
Like it is not coveting others' wealth. Something like that.
It is like lobh mat karo means that don't be greedy. Ma gridah kasya swit means don't be greedy of others' property or others' money.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to write this. You like Lokpal slogan, and you will have to write that because you want to produce a very fresh content to them.
Okay.
And don't produce in your any of except me any of your other writing. Because people
bro.
close knit group and nobody is competing you because those are newcomers. It is good for you this time. So that kind of thing. And now what about more about philosophy? Just let me share. Where I was teaching. Yeah. Yeah. So philosophy, what more philosophy you can see? What more?
There is one, one. The Indian Army has service before self.
Yeah, service before
self. Selfless
Ask
attitude.
Not what country
what the state can do.
What country can do for you? This is American president. Which president? Name. You can search that. Ask not what country can do for you.
Kennedy.
Ask what? Yeah, Kennedy statement. Ask what you can do for the country. You write this in the philosophy. Then on other philosophy, what you can say? Kautilya's philosophy. There are several philosophy. Buddhist philosophy, Jainist philosophy. You write, barely you write. Buddhist philosophy, Jainism philosophy, Hinduism philosophy, Islamic philosophy, Christian philosophy. And you just create one, two word out of it. What will be the Hinduism philosophy? What is the Hinduism philosophy at core?
We have this Vasudeva Kutumbakam one.
Vasudeva Kutumbakam is coming from there. You write.
And second one is like for the peace of everyone and the universal happiness of everyone.
Yeah, universal happiness, universal brotherhood.
Yeah.
You have this dharma. Dharma is a very wider conception. And then Reet. Then you have fourfold path. Like you have this Purushartha, Artha, Dharma. You have Artha, Dharma, Kama, Moksha. So these are actually related to some of the philosophy of Indian society.
Right.
So Jainism philosophy, you know that Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. Ahimsa should not be allowed, like Ahimsa should be allowed, like Hinsa should not be allowed. Violence is not the order of the day. Peace is the order of the day. Then you have United Nations philosophy. UN philosophy, what is that? Peace building approach. Peace building approach. Now philosophy, not only of thinkers, you have to write the philosophy of bigger laws like SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. What is the goal number 17?
Is it related to peace?
Yeah, peace.
Or inequality? Peace or inequality?
Peace building, institution building, and collaborations for goals. You have to quote that. You write that. SDG, you will be remembering each and every SDG for each and every GS paper and for essays also. More philosophy you have to write. How much philosophy you have to write? At least 100 philosophy, hundreds of philosophy, it should be in your mind. And it is very easy. If you enlist it now, and if you see it 20 times, it will be just like it will be coming and flowing from your mouth. What I did, what I was doing all these years, if I will be actually opening that, I will be giving you 50 or 100. I am having this, which mobile I am not having much use. I'm not getting calls. That I made the color note. And I was like, I was making this. You will see this. I was making this notes. Okay. And I was like lighting this. Stay hungry, stay foolish. What is the philosophy? Stay hungry, stay foolish. Steve Jobs philosophy. Okay. So contemporary examples you can also quote. Little quotes, but quotes also we were actually talking about. So these philosophies list is different. Then now we talk about these quotations. So there should be a separate quotations from moral thinkers and philosopher, and you have to write these quotations in one place. All the 2013 to 2021, whatever they have asked, there should be a repository at one place. That is also one list. Okay. You write 2013 to 2021, all the quotations they have asked. Every year they will be asking you 3-4, and they will be giving you quotations. Even if they are not asking you the meaning of it, they will be giving you quotation. There is enough on this earth for everyone's need, but not for everyone's greed. They have asked the essay on this also. So they are triggering also essays. Nearly all men can withstand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. So he is talking about power versus powerlessness. And he's talking about power versus character. And what more he is talking about? Adversity tests your real character. So here he is actually talking about when you are under pressure, how much integrity you are showing. That's it. In a keyword nutshell, he is talking about integrity under pressure. And what you will be writing here? Examples from history, examples from recent times, example from Indian administration, example from the world order, and talking about how the strong characters do not fall under normal pressures of society, normal pressures of politicians, vested interests, nexuses, crony capitalism. All these words you will be mentioning. Please do mention these words in your keyword dictionary also. Crony capitalism, nexus. These are extra words which are not ethical words, which will be coming handy to you. Now, I count him braver who overcomes his desires than who overcomes his enemies. So what he is talking about? Can you decode from syllabus? Anyone? Can you decode it? You don't have to read for it. You have to apply your mind. I have told you earlier those keywords coming from syllabus in this question paper itself. I count him braver, overcome his desires.
Is it probity?
This is one thing, but you are not hitting the nail. Prerna, can you try?
Emotional intelligence?
Yeah. Hit the nail. Know your desires before curbing it. If your desires are going berserk, your character will be lost. Your control over your mind, body, and spirit will be not there. So emotional intelligence, first principle, what it says? Know your desires. Know your emotions. What is desire? One of the emotions of humankind. And it is the way, it is not only the emotion, one emotion. It is actually the base or the source of all the emotions. Desires are the source of all the emotions. That's why if you can overcome the desires, you can overcome your enemies. What are your enemies? Desire is emanating emotions. And if desire is controlled, your emotions is controlled. And if your emotions is control, your enemies of your emotions are controlled, or your enemies who are showing emotions towards you are controlled, not harming you. So this is vice versa. Desires, if you this is controlled, your emotion is controlled. If your emotion is controlled, you will be not putting desires first, but the necessity first, and duty first, responsibility first. So the enemies cannot take you for granted. They cannot take benefit from you. So this is the Aristotle saying here. Even if you don't know from exact, and you don't have to know exactly from where it is coming. I count him braver. So he's talking about brevity. What is brevity? You have to define. First of all, you have to define brevity here. So write in your keyword brevity. What is brave? What is brevity? Okay. Who is brave? Brave. And this is also called, in other word, courage of conviction. Brave versus courage. What is the difference between braveness and courageousness? What is the difference between braveness and courage? Put there. Understood that? How to solve this? You can actually give, I will tell you, you can actually give quotations. You have to decode need versus greed. What is need? What is greed? How the greed is one of the emotion, how we have to be emotionally intelligent to not overpower the greed, how we have to man of integrity, how our crisis of conscience should not be happening, but vice of conscience should be. So even if nobody is knowing nothing, but if he has written the 5 questions, earlier 5 questions, and knowing those keywords, he can implement those keywords here also, isn't it?
Yes.
At least the hidden meaning of that. Even if you are not writing directly vice of conscience, you will be writing that I will use the soul force. You are changing the statement itself and using that.
Right.
So, and then the second thing is, apart from the keyword, apart from the theory thinking and the definitions you are coming from here, the understanding, you will have to actually quote other quotations from other places. There is enough on this earth for everyone's need, but not for enough, not one's greed. So you have to quote other quotations also related to this need or greed. So greediness is the worst characteristic of any person. These are the phrases you can use. So phrases, you write in your parenthesis. Phrases are very important for ethics paper. Small phrases you have to understand. See, don't overdo of the things, but be aware and fastly channelize and write those phrases also. Do not like now open up the all phrases book and then start reading the phrases, because it is getting the more marks, so we will be getting all the 100 phrases. No. But according to the need of the hour, you have to utilize. Like, see, some phrases I will give you. Write those phrases. How the phrases can be used. Those phrases will be, first thing, honesty is the best policy. You have heard, no?
Yeah.
Second thing, greed eliminates the breed. This is the proverb. Then Rome was not built in a day. And now where it can be utilized? It can be utilized in a perseverance. Perseverance. There was one question related to perseverance. There you can utilize this phrase. Rome was not built in a day. Fourth, what are more phrases you can utilize? Small phrases you have to just find. God helps them who helps themselves. God helps them, helps themselves. These kind of phrases you have to, small phrases which are workable, you have to understand. 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, not more than 50. Even if you know, it is more than enough. You have to quote small quotations which are actually showing the importance of need or greed. Then personalities who actually talked about we need only need, not greed. What are those personality? Lal Bahadur Shastri. Make one folder of this famous ethical personality from India, world. From India, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Dr. Kalam, Satyarthi, Prakash Satyarthi, then Baba Amte, Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Dr. Ambedkar, Jyotiba Phule, Ram Mohan Rai, Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar, Swami Vivekanand. So you have a list of famous personality who were very ethical. Lal Bahadur Shastri in the recent times, Jai Prakash Narayan in the recent times. Then so many persons will be there. Dr. Lohia will be there. In every field and every area, you should know 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. Okay. Like
Tripura CM. Have you heard of Tripura CM Manik Sarkar? He was also known.
Manik Sarkar. So you can quote that. Recent examples are must. Right here, famous personality in recent times also. Check their background. If they are very much political, don't quote them. If they are political itself, you can quote them, but with a certain condition that their words should be iterated, which are non-political. That are developmental words only, not political words. Okay.
Okay.
Then going, any question here related to quotations? When you write the quotations, I will be actually putting you more. Here, logic will be given more in quotation. You have to logic yourself and find one starting point. Like here, you can actually, what is brave, what is courage, how there are a parallel between brave and braveness and courage. What is desire? And what are our enemies? How to overcome desires and why to overcome desire? Why overcoming desire is a braver step? Annihilating the desires. How it is being told in our Dharma Shastras. In Gita, it is told no desire should be there.
Yeah.
So it is
greed is a gateway to hell, like I read in one.
In Bhagavad Gita, it is also being told that karma, karmanyavadikaraste ma phalashu kadacha. So it is actually annihilating the desires. And the Krishna, while driving his Ratha of Arjuna, is telling that these desires are actually killing you. The desires to be with your own people, to conduct your good life with your own people only, is actually hurdle in your progress in your war. And that war is not for normal things. That war is of highly anointed thing. So you must annihilate that desires which are harming your warring capacity. So Gita is very clear about the karma proposition, right? So those things you have to write.
Oh.
Then we'll be going on this thing. See, this is also a quotation. The good of an individual is contained in good of all. Do you know the actual from where it has come? This is actually Mahatma Gandhi, when he gone to Africa, South Africa, Mahatma Gandhi, when he gone to South Africa, he actually, read so many scholars, including Tolstoy and all. Okay. There he got this word. The good of individual is contained in good of all. And he was guided by this philosophy. And what is the name of this man? The good of an individual? I'm just telling you. I guess it is the Thoreau's quotations.
Okay.
Thoreau, David Henry Thoreau. The good of individual is contained in good of all, means that good of an individual lies in the good of all people of the society. Who is that like, man? Just let me see. Sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka. That proposition is at the core of this. I guess it is thorough only, but I'm not getting on the internet. But it was guiding the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi in latter years when he gone there. He read several books, and one book he wrote about Thoreau and all those people. There he got this. Unto this last, I guess. The book's name was Unto This Last. He was highly, highly impressed by that book, Unto This Last. Okay, bro. So this is the thing, again, quote. So they have asked you again quote. So 4 quotes they have asked. Good of an individual contain good of all. So it is talking about what thing? What do you understand by this principle? How can this principle be implemented in public life? So you write this keyword public life, where you have written the public service, public thing, and you write there public life. Along with that, you write public good. Okay. And then you write citizen centricity as a keyword, citizen centricity. So what this is talking about, good of an individual and good of all. Good of all means public good. Good of an individual is individual good or individual goal or individuality. What West is telling is about liberty principle is related to individuality. The LPG goal is what? Liberalization, privatization, globalization is about libertarian principle or this individual system. But good of all is vested in public good. Good of all is vested in welfare. Good of all is vested in, there is one thinking called Rawls thinking. John Rawls, what is it called? Wheel of ignorance. Ignorance. Wheel of ignorance is related to good of all. So how good of an individual is contained in the good of all? It's jab sabka bhala ho, kar bhala to ho bhala. This is the dictum. What is the dictum? That if you do good to others, you will be rewarded with good.
You'll get back the same.
Yeah. So this is called karma philosophy of India. Karma principle. What you do, what you get back through the universe, even if not by the person. Good of all. The good of all. How the good of all will be happening in public life and implemented in public life? Good of all. Good of all is actually contained in, if you see the constitutional principle, socialist democracy, parliamentary democracy, right? Secular democracy. Okay. Socialist, secular, sovereign, sovereignty. Sovereignty is what? We the people. Not I the person. We the people. Socialist is what? Socialistic, communistic tendencies. Communism. Okay. Then what is there? Parliamentary democracy is talking about people's rule. That is democratic rule. Demos plus Gracia, Ethos. Secular. When we are secular, we are actually not helping one religion or two religions, but all the religions are simple to us. We are seeing the good things in all the religions. So good of all will be happening through secularism. Then what? Sovereignty. Then I talk to you about dutifulness. Good of all is what? Fundamental duty. So if you do justice to your own individual self, if you are doing your own duty, you are doing good of all. So good of an individual means this is the good of an individual. Good Samaritanship is what? Good Samaritanship is good of an individual. How it is happening, how it is doing good or good of all. If each person will be helping each other, what will be do? They will be doing. They are individually helped, like that is being helped individually that person, but good of all is happening. So fundamental duties, fundamental rights. The directive principle of state policy talks about welfareistic policy. So how it is happening? if one principle is being challenged or reformed by one person or one government, it is helping all the individuals. The good of all is what? Community rights. And this good of individual is individual rights. So there is a fair balance between community rights and individual rights in Indian Constitution also. Okay, are you understood? Like how the Constitution parallels we can take here, how the legal parameters we can take. So people say that do not take law in your own hand. Why? Your individual action can do harm more than the greater cause. So you have to report. You have to report. You have to ask for reform. You can protest in a very peaceful way. Protesting is also allowed, but without any ill will, without any seditious activity. Protest in a very peaceful manner. So that is good.
Right.
Of so
the same question.
PIL
yeah,
and
this
SIL.
was
PIL and SIL is what? One individual goes with his interest, but he's talking about interest of society. A PIL will be accepted if it is good for all. It will be accepted. But what it will be doing? It will be doing individual. Like example, Shaira Bano case. Shah Bano case to Saira Bano case. So one woman, if they will be like very disturbed and they're going to the justice court and the law will be changed, it will be equally helping to all the women's entry to the temple. That is the example. Then many more examples are there. There is one word called, in the keyword you write, constitutional morality. Constitutional morality. Okay. So what is constitutional morality? Can anyone tell me what is constitutional morality? Read about these words. Now, I will not help you in each and every word. I know generals I will not tell. These words are actually not new. Constitutional morality was actually talked about by Ambedkar Sahab also in the Constituent Assembly.
It was asked in this year PubAd as well.
And not only that, they have asked constitutional morality in where?
Ethics as well. Ethics also they have asked.
Essay.
Okay.
When this judgment came, which judgment? LGBTQ plus
judgment.
Then women's issues judgments came, temple entry and all those things. And that year, 10 things happened with the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court. And those were like transformatory things. And Justice Mishra actually told about this. The constitutional morality should be upheld by the law of the land, not the social morality. So you write this word also, social morality. And you talk about the socially embedded process. You write the lady's name also and the public administration. The whole definition you should remember, and you can utilize that also. Okay. So this is done. It is often said that politics and ethics do not go together. So politics versus ethics. Again, Gandhiji talked about it. What? 7 scene.
Politics without principle.
That's why I tell people, just like formula, remember these things. You write that again, Nolan guideline. You write that again, preamble. You remember it, and then you use it. Like what type of liberty it is talking about? Preamble. Please tell me, both of you.
Liberty of thought, expression, faith, and belief. Liberty of thought, expression, faith, and belief.
Then one more is there. Do you remember, Prerna?
Good consent.
No. Preamble I am talking about. Preamble cannot be changed with our fancies. Liberty, see, I told again and again, tab 4. What is that?
Fraternity.
Truth.
Worship, faith and worship.
Faith
and
worship.
Worship is there, faith and worship.
Tab 4, you remember tab 4.
Right.
You remember SSDR. What is this?
Sovereign Socialist
Democratic Republic. And what is justice? SEP. Social,
economic, and political.
You have to remember each and every word. In fact, you have to remember the whole preamble, whole 17, whole Nolan guideline. What more you need to know? Right. Good governance. elements. What are the elements of good governance? You have to write down all the 8 by UNDP and all the 6 by other places, but all the elements must be integrated. What are the good governance element? What is the e-governance element? Can anyone tell? I've told you in earlier classes also at other places if you are like following that. E-governance. What is the dictum of e-governance? Anyone? Smart governance. What is a smart governance? Simple,
specific, simple,
moral,
measurable,
quantifiable, yeah, measurable also,
reliable, yeah,
reliable, responsible,
timely,
responsive, reliable, responsive, all the things.
yeah,
Technology oriented and trust oriented.
timely,
timely also, timeliness, trust, timeliness. Keep writing that. You will don't remember the word later on. You will be thinking what was T. Only technology will be coming in mind. Sometimes technology, trust will be coming in mind. So you have to remember all the three: time, timeliness, like trust, trustful, and then technology oriented. Then smart. Ho gaya. Done. So these things you have to understand. You have to remember also and quote at several places. Don't you think you will be embellishing and decorating the answers in such a way that they will be awarding marks? No. You have a skeleton, not a skeleton only of your theory, but also the embellishment, the decoration element. Okay. So politics and ethics, what is this? Politics without principles is seventh sin, one of the greatest social evil by Gandhi. Politics without a principle. Politics must be with principle. Now, what is the question asking? Often said that politics and ethics do not go together. Definitely. What told about that? Kautilya. This is Kautilyan. You write in philosopher, Kautilya versus Machiavelli. Machiavelli what? The prince. Right? And Kautilya's Arthashastra. Kautilya Arthashastra talks about politics and ethics do not go together. Why he talks like that? Politics and ethics do not go together?
Because ethics is idealism.
He's talking about
politics is realism.
He is talking about real politics.
Real politics.
And what is real politics? Politics at ground. Real politics means politics at ground, not the ideological sense of politics, but real politics means practical prescriptions for politics. So in real politics, as the Kautilya says, that sometimes you have to utilize not the individual morality, but this is where you will be seeing the difference between individual morality versus state morality. What is state morality? State morality is not in favor of one individual. It is not in favor of one community. It is not in favor of some persons or group. It is not in favor of emotions. If it will take care of emotions, the Sainik, the soldiers will be not dying. But we do care in individual morality. We do care that our brethren are actually getting killed at borders or even Shahid, Shahada. We do care about, but the state cares about security and integrity. Security and integrity of nation. That's why
state morality covers that constitutional morality plus individual morality both.
Yeah, but here when Kautilya was there, it was not elaborate. Kautilya was telling that a state morality should cover only and only the interest of greater good.
Sir, but the, whatever is written in and we know about the constitutional morality, it also talks about the individual interest and having belief on constitution that your principle and your interest gonna safeguard by the constitution and their principle.
Yeah, you're right. But when we talk about emergency powers, when we talk about Article 33, 34, 35, curbing the rights of individual of which? Rights of individuals of which? Armed forces. So they cannot have individual, rights. In that case, the police, the army. And when you talk about which thing? When you talked about martial law, what will happen? What will we talking about? Emergency power, which is, even seizing the rights of individuals. Even the the fundamentalist of the right will be checked, not taken away directly, but if need be, it will be taken away, isn't it? So
Yes, sir.
this is the real core of state morality. Actually, Chanakya is talking about that state morality will be happening and will be put to use when your individual morality will not favor the governmental acts. So the politics and ethics do not go together, should be seen in that only. It should not be seen in real life. What you talked about, individual rights, the welfare rights, the basic, initiative, the rights initiative, right-based initiative, their politics and ethics must go together. And what you have to say, that Gandhiji says that politics without morality, the politics without principles are farce politics. It is not politics. It is what? It is what?
Sin.
Autocracy. It is demonian, means demon oriented. It is what? It is against the rights of individuals. It is against the will of people. It is forced. It is not a sovereign morality. It is the very, very vested political morality. So that's why we need separate kind of structure for both. That so that omission and commission of state, omission, this word, omission and commission, you write this word, omission and commission of state, omission and commission of state must be saved also. How you tell that state cannot be sued at some times. Suits cannot happen at several places, several places. It is barred by law. So why this is happening? Because state morality will take care of. But when the individual morality will be taken care of, when you have to protect the right of individual in normal senses, do the duties which are envisioned by fundamental rights, do inject the philosophies given by preamble, sovereign socialist secular democratic republic, do your constitutional do your constitutional duty. It is the keyword, constitutional duty. Then you have to take the politics with ethics, so that greater good, you write, greater good, public good, general good and will of the people. Abraham Lincoln, you have to quote here. Abraham Lincoln, you have to quote. Which quote I am talking about? After repeated quote. Democracy is of the people, by the people,
for.
Democracy is of the people, by the people, for the people. So that is politics and ethics going together. That should be, politics should be going to ethics. Ethics should be going to politics. You have to give the example. Family politics. No, negative example give. Family-based politics.
Oh, negative.
Not going together.
Dynasty.
Then dynasty politics.
Criminalization.
Criminalization. Caste, class-based politics. Denying the rights to women. Only 12% RS and LS. Only 12% representation. Then talking about high postage in politics. Cabinet ministers. Not various women are cabinet ministers, right? Then politics and ethics going together. You can talk about, you can talk about
so Ashoka.
Local government also you can talk about. 12 lakh sarpanches are there in India, women sarpanches. Yeah. So this is politics and ethics going together. In the letter and spirit also it is happening, but spirit is missing there. You can take the example, negative example there from here only. These are snatched by their husbands or male folks.
Sarpanchpati.
Yeah, Sarpanchpati or Mukhyapati or so many things are there. So politics and ethics do not go together also, and it goes together. What in your opinion in this regard? Your opinion should be, it is going together, it should be going together, but there are something which cannot be revealed, like sedition. It should not be there. It should not be there. You cannot go against the state. Your word should be what your country is not doing for you, but you are doing for the country. Sedition should not happen. Then what should be open? Expression should not be against the ill will. 19.2 you will quote, 25.2 you will quote. Then what is happening here? Politics and ethics. You should quote various things, various other provisions like APSPA. You have to have eliminating ethics at places where, armed forces need more powers, but armed forces should not actually go doing away with the ethics. So Supreme Court is telling that APSPA should have some curves. Then you are talking about Official Secrets Act. This is what? Not going together. It should not go together. Otherwise, the secret information will be going up. But at the same time, what the RTI policy of second ARC is telling, give the place of OSA to 1923 a place in the RTI itself. So RTI should prevail generally, but OSA can prevail when the real need of secrecy is needed for any document. And also keep open the files of certain time so that it is actually seen by the people and also dissected by the people at large. So politics and ethics do not go together at some places, but mostly it should go together. It must go together. Any public servant or any civil servant or any minister must follow this dictum of Mahatma Gandhi. They should not do harm to the greater good or the public good. They must do good politics. And you can quote this thing, economic survey some years back, it has said that good economy leads the good politics, and good politics leads the good economy. You can quote like that. So that will be doing. You can quote about, secrecy in voting is good politics and ethics going together. Privacy of individual is a good politics going together. But when we phone tap of individual and use that for political gain, it is against the individual of politics and ethics. And then when we talk about, several examples can be taken here. Politics and ethics going together, politics and ethics not going together. What should happen, what should not happen, right? But politics generally in national interest, you write this keyword, national interest. You write this word also, general interest. Because this keyword does not generally come in the mind when we are writing. When we are not writing, our keywords will be floating around. Isn't it happening? So many times happens with me. Illustrations are nothing. We will be showing that canvassing is a negative thing. Canvassing for elections by the public servants is not good in favor of some. It is against the political neutrality. So ethics, what is ethics there? What is ethics there? Political ethics there is like political neutrality of civil servant. What you were telling?
Only 1 minute, bro. I'll be back 1 second.
Yeah. The time is over, I guess.